Peace, peace. You know who it is, your man Lord on the Supreme. And I just want to share a quick video, a quick thought I just had that I wanted to share. And that simply is the truth that wealth starts off simply as a consciousness. You know, wealth is a consciousness. What does that mean? That means that you know how they teach you how, like, oh, you know, wealth is having a whole bunch of stuff or having a whole lot of this or a whole lot of that. But before it even translates into physical assets or commodities, it always starts as consciousness. Consciousness, which is another word for consciousness, is awareness. It starts as your awareness, your consciousness. What are you aware of? What are you conscious of? What kind of consciousness are you walking around? What state of consciousness are you in? And when you think of things in that way, or in that sense, you realize that there's no wonder why people that are in a poverty state of consciousness never really receive any type of prosperity or wealth. Internally or externally. Like I said, it starts as a consciousness. So of course everything starts on the inside, and on the inside it eventually starts reflecting the outside. Why is this beneficial? Why is this important? This is important because that means that no matter what you want to have, or no matter what you want to experience in this 3D reality, you can experience it internally first. And by you allowing yourself to experience it and giving yourself permission, because a lot of people don't want to give themselves permission until they see it on the physical and outside, which is weird, you know. You have the power to start experiencing it now. But once you give yourself permission to experiencing it internally, you'll eventually see it reflect on the external world, because as within, so without, as above, so below. You know, these are universal laws. That's the thing about this life. These are like universal principles. So, yeah, you can argue with it, but it's like at the end of the day, argue with your mama. You know, you can argue. You can argue till you're blue in the face, but I suggest you try it. I suggest you try it because it changed my life. You know, I meet people. Sometimes I meet people and they talk to me and they ask me questions. They're like, "Man, what do you do?" Or, you know, how do you get these things? Or how do you do that? You know, my favorite, they ask you, you know, where do you work? Or how do you? One of my previous friends in the past, she said, "How are you doing this stuff? You know, what do you do?" Like, what do you mean? She said, because she's like, "How are you living here? You know, you live on the beach. Like, how do you do this? I never see you work, and you know, you seem like you're just comfortable." And she said, my dad and my brother, they're fucking struggling, you know what I'm saying? And running back and forth just to stay where they're at, and you're just like floating. I'm just like, at the time I was like, man, I said I didn't really know, but it's like, I know, you know. It's because my state of consciousness that I've been working on for years. Years. Because the old me used to have a poverty consciousness. And, you know, people don't like to see things like that nowadays. They don't like to see it as, in a sense of what it is. But when you look at it, at the truth of life, the truth of reality is that everything starts off spiritual. And so since everything starts off spiritual, that means everything starts off on your internal. That's why I really like the idea of the book, Think and Grow Rich, even more than I even like the book itself. Like, the book was nice. You know, you had some good concepts in it. But the title, the whole concept of the whole book itself that was it. Think and Grow Rich. Like, if you needed to know everything about the book in a nutshell, it was literally think and grow rich. Think rich thoughts. Think of yourself in a rich way. Think of how you would think of things if you're already rich. How would you feel? How would you walk? How would you move? How would you think? How would you talk? How would you solve the problems that you have? How would your problems in your life change? Would you still be worried about the little things you were worried about? Hell no, you wouldn't. You ask me why I don't worry, because I don't worry. Now, the old me used to worry a whole lot. I'm gonna pay this damn light bill. You know, he used to have stress. He used to feel it. He used to literally feel it in the nigga body. I'm gonna make these light bills. They want the whole piece, the whole thing of it. They don't want a piece of it. They want the whole thing. And man, fuck them goddamn lights. That nigga Cat Wayne said, "Fuck them damn lights." I got 4 candles. I've been waiting to burn them shits. But that's that's a shift in consciousness. You know, that joke he made. He used the idea of you know, taking a substance, which is marijuana, to shift his consciousness. But hey, whatever it takes. But you know, at the end of the day, those are crutches. You know, those are crutches. Some people use music. Some people use foods to take their mind off of something. When they're thinking about a bad relationship, or thinking about how they don't think they're good enough, and they start eating, or they start watching a show to forget about it, you know, to shift their consciousness. If you realize you have the power to shift your own consciousness at any time, you realize how powerful you are. You realize how powerful you are. You know what I'm saying? To feel it real, to allow yourself to feel it real in the now, and to be that now, you realize how powerful you are. I had to allow myself to be kind of living in la la land, live a little delusional. For a long time, I was thinking, I'm like, man, I'm thinking positive. I'm doing these affirmations. I'm writing it down every night. You know what I'm saying? Before I went to sleep, I was writing down, I'm rich, I'm wealthy, I'm successful. I was writing it down for years. I used to have it on so I used to have subliminal mind programming going on while I'm asleep, and have it. I had all kind of shit, bro. Like I'm writing it in the motherfucking mirror. I'm talking to myself in the mirror just to shift my consciousness. It wasn't just about wealth, but it was about a bunch of stuff. Like, because I really used to hate myself. I didn't like myself. And will I say after all that shit, will I say that it worked? Hell yeah, that shit worked. Hell yeah, it worked. So I'm not here to talk down on it. It worked. It just took a long ass time. If I had some kind of shortcut that I would give to my younger self, I know that's what they're gonna ask me and shit in the interviews. If I had a shortcut I can give to my younger self or my less realized self, I would say keep doing what you're doing. Trust and have faith that it's gonna work. But start off with removing your limiting beliefs first. You start off with the limiting beliefs because we all have a paradigm. A paradigm is just basically a multitude of ideas that we hold about ourselves and the reality that we're in. And, you can still overcome your paradigms by, saying the things you want, thinking the way you want. It will eventually shift just by doing that. Yeah, you can do that. But it's going to take a long, long, long time. It's like trying to shift a rocket ship with like 4 or 5 anchors on it. The rocket ship is going to have more power. It's going to eventually fly and get out there. But it's like, imagine how much faster it would have went if it released those damn anchors. Imagine how much more quicker that ship went if it dropped those damn anchors. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I would say to do. I would say find out a way to get to your limiting beliefs, to remove those so you can move up quicker. And if you don't know how to do it, find someone who knows how to do it. Get you a mentor. You know what I'm saying? Find you somebody who can help you get it, because that will exponentially speed up your progress. Whether you're trying to work on your relationships, whether you're trying to work on your sense of self, your sense of wealth, your sense of fucking anything, because we have beliefs about anything nowadays. Believe it or not, the old me used to have a belief that I was stupid. I just think that I was stupid. Like, man, that's crazy. I thought I was stupid. I thought I was dumb. I thought I was defective. Some of those things are what we call core beliefs. Core beliefs are the ones you have about your core. You have beliefs that you have about reality or about certain things, small things. We can say small. And you have certain beliefs about things that are like core identity beliefs. Like, oh, you think that you're not good enough, or you think that you're flawed. That was what I used to believe. I thought I was flawed. I thought that I was fundamentally flawed. Which is, you can only imagine how I would move through life. I know I'm not fundamentally flawed, and now I know that I'm unique. I know I'm different. My mom, not just her, but also my environment made me believe and feel that something was wrong with me, that I was weird, I was strange. But I know that I'm functioning exactly as I'm meant to. And these videos and everything that I'm doing now is just I would say they're just proof of everything that was true for me. That that I really am. I'm just chosen. I'm chosen for this work. I'm chosen to do these things, and I'm going to share the knowledge. I'm going to share what it is. So everything starts with a state of consciousness. You know what I'm saying? If you don't want to do all the other work that I did, like writing down, doing affirmation, all them things do work. But some people they give up because they're like, oh, it takes so damn long. You're like, I've been doing this for years. Some people, it's going to take you years. You know what I'm saying? Some people, they can do that same thing, affirmations, and it can work within a matter of months. Somebody else can do it in a matter of years. Somebody else can do it practicing and work in a matter of days. Everybody's subconscious mind is impressionable at different states and at different levels due to the fact of how much limitations, how many blockages, how much, in other words, in spiritual words, how much karma you have holding you back. You know what I'm saying? You can do these money affirmations and do things to acquire money, like working for it, or doing a certain kind of job, or doing certain kind of things. And you're like, damn, it's taking so hard to make, even just to get a little bit of money. When somebody else, they do even a fraction of what you do, and they're getting this much more. And you compare yourself and start feeling down, wonder why. But you're not supposed to compare yourself. Their path is not your path. For some reason, you're going through all this for a reason. And when you start to allow yourself to think of it like that and realize that, hey, your time is coming, you're gonna get your benefit. You just gotta stay steadfast and wonder, ask yourself, what does this teach? What is this trying to teach me? What is the spiritual significance of this? Or how is this for my highest good? Then you realize that, hey, something in this was to benefit you. Some of the people that are the most wealthy and the most successful now, we had the hardest come up. We had the hardest situations in our lives. I wouldn't wish a lot of shit that I experienced on nobody. The old me motherfucker was homeless, sleeping on beaches for years, sleeping on beaches. I'm not saying years back to back, but I say years because accumulated. You know what I'm saying? You would go into a situation, boom, and then you finally get your job or some shit, and then you get into a place, and then for some reason something don't work out, and you get kicked out of the place, or this and that. It would be a whole bunch of shit. In back war, you're in a car, the car get taken, and you're back on it. Went through all that. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, the nigga went through all that. And that's because the majority of my karma was to deal with as far as my my wealth, my family, the home, and my sense of security. But the fact that I went through the brunt of all that karma and cleaned up all that karma, now my life is like flourishing, and people are like, damn, how are you just like floating through life? It's because I worked on myself. I put in the reps. I'm really grateful that I put in the reps, and I'm only seeing the up. So, I'm in this video because, Matrix guys always, they fucking down there following me. I moved over here. They came over here now. Yeah, man. So put in the reps. When you're going through karma, be grateful that you're going through karma. A lot of people that's the most successful now is because they cleaned up a lot of their karma from the bottom. That's a way for you to be thankful for the suffering. Suffering is just removing karma. If you want to increase your suffering and speed it up so you can speed your karma clearing up quicker, one of the best things you can ever do is fast. This is in old ancient scriptures, it's in old text. You can do fasting. Fasting is a sign or a sense of suffering. And some people say, why would I allow myself to suffer like that? Why would I deny myself food? Because when you deny yourself that gratification and allow yourself to suffer, you're allowing yourself to clear up the karma quicker in a more rapid way. I'm not saying fast for days. I'm not saying do no dry fast. You know what I'm saying? If your body can't do no dry fast, then do a juice fast. If your body can't do a juice fast, and just do a fruit fast. If you can't do just a fruit fast, just do a veggie and fruit fast. You know what I'm saying? Or nuts fast or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But fast and deny yourself of certain things so you can clear up some of that karma, so you can speed up your manifestations. That's another thing that I would tell myself at a younger age if I wanted to. I would say, practice fasting. Practice those different things. At the end of the day, no matter what you do, if you just keep doing what you're doing and keep moving toward your goal, it's going to come. That's why I say anything that I teach you is going to come. It may take more time. It may take more work. It may take more effort. But I give you my word, that shit going to come. It's going to come. So when you know something's going to come, it's going to be, it's going to track right to your state and it won't be late. Look at that butterfly just passed by us. That butterfly just passed by. It says, okay, guy. But, just, you got it. So, everything starts with your consciousness, what I'm saying? The best thing you can do for yourself is to change your consciousness. When I first wanted to change my wealth consciousness before I actually started having stuff, I was actually already feeling wealthy. I was already feeling good. One of the main reasons why I wanted to do that was because I wanted to stop worrying about bills, stop worrying about how I'm favored, worrying about that, you know what I'm saying? Once I got rid of all that, the rest of the stuff started slowly coming. And like Bob Proctor said, he said, when the wealth and the money start coming, you're going to wonder like, damn, where it's been this whole time? It's always been around. It's always been, but it was just waiting to come. You know what I'm saying? It was waiting to catch up to you. It's here, you know what I'm saying? So trust. Anything you want, it's here. You can have it, Just believe. Faith is receiving. With that, I'm gone. Jeez.